Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Now, we know that Bitcoin is continuing to be accumulated by institutions and corporations, right? Tesla holds Bitcoin, MicroStrategy is buying Bitcoin. BlackRock obviously is holding a major amount of Bitcoin due to the Bitcoin ETF. However, the million-dollar question is are they buying altcoins? Are they interested in altcoins? And now, in this video, I have data and proof that institutions are buying altcoins. And so this is very interesting and definitely have not seen many people talking about this. And so if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for future videos. And also make sure to check out the link underneath the video to Margix if you're interested in leverage trading. This is one of the best leverage trading platforms out there, and Bitcoin currently is trading right around $70,000. And so we could see a break above this, and that could be the next leg up for Bitcoin. So definitely make sure to check that out by using the link underneath the video. You can get up to $10,000 to cover the fees on the platform. And so let's go ahead and jump right into the video here. We can see institutional allocation to crypto is on the rise. Financial institutions have been slow to get into digital asset markets, but as regulatory clarity improves, that's about to change. And so we can already see that more institutions are getting involved in cryptocurrencies, right? We are seeing politics start talking about cryptocurrencies. And so one of the platforms I'm going to be focusing on today is Coinbase. If you're not familiar with them, they are one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges out there. They are also the custodian for the Bitcoin ETF. And so we can see here, last quarter they had $312 billion of quarterly traded volume. Right? They hold $330 billion of assets over 100 different countries. And so let's go ahead and take a look at this data here, the Coinbase volume by customer segment. And so last quarter, as I mentioned, they traded $312 billion of volume. And we can see institutions accounted for $256 billion of that. Retail was only $56 billion. And so retail is accounting for less than 20% of the volume on Coinbase. Right? Not what you would expect. You'd expect a lot of retail to be accounting for the volume on Coinbase, especially because this is a very simple platform to use. This is usually the first app or platform that people are new to cryptocurrency download. And so institutions are accounting for about 80% of the total volume. Now, this gets much more interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trade volume share by asset. And so this is broken down from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other here. And so we can see that Bitcoin accounts for 33% of that. Ethereum accounts for 13%, and then all other altcoins account for 54% of that. And so we can see here that more than half of the volume is being purchased in different altcoins, right? We would expect that to be a ton of Bitcoin. I personally thought it would be 80% Bitcoin, especially with the Bitcoin ETF that went live in January, right? However, in Q1 here, we're seeing that the majority of it is still in different altcoins. And so let's go ahead and break this down from a numbers standpoint. We can see in the first quarter here, retail accounted for $56 billion. Now, institutions accounted for $256 billion of that $312 billion that was traded by Coinbase. And so we can go ahead and break this down into the volumes of the different assets. And so we can see here, if institutions accounted for $256 billion of Coinbase's volume, you may think the majority of it is Bitcoin. However, the Bitcoin trading volume in the first quarter was only 33% of the total volume, meaning only $84.5 billion was Bitcoin volume. Now, altcoins accounted for 54% of the total volume. Therefore, institutions are buying $138 billion of volume in altcoins. That is absolutely massive. That's insane. Right? Even if we assume all retail volume, $56 billion worth, was categorized as other, this would still leave $87 billion of the trade volume being invested in altcoins by institutions. And so institutions are definitely interested in many different altcoins, and I'm going to be sharing a few of the ones that I think they could potentially be investing in. And so let's go ahead and take a look at Coinbase here. We can see Coinbase has only 255 assets listed on their exchange. And so it's not like they have 2,000 different assets, right? I mean, this leaves about 250 different altcoins that institutions can buy. And so let's go ahead and take a look at Chainlink here. This is one that I definitely think institutions have been continuing to accumulate, right? I mean, currently trading at $18.73. Let's go ahead and take a look at some news that was just released a couple of weeks ago. We can see that blockchain Oracle company Chainlink, in collaboration with the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, has completed a pilot program aimed at accelerating the tokenization of traditional financial funds. And so the pilot program included participation from major financial institutions such as American Century, Investments, BNY Mellon, and JP Morgan. Right? JP Morgan has been very against Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. They were very against Bitcoin, and now they are involved with the Bitcoin ETF. And here again, they're focusing on testing of tokenization with Chainlink. And so this just shows that they're definitely working behind the scenes. They're continuing to test this. If there's going to be use cases and benefits to cryptocurrencies and blockchain, they want to make sure that it's tested. I've been in cryptocurrency since 2017. There's been a lot of testing that has been going on. BMW was talking about testing cryptocurrencies back in 2017. Do you think that they just stopped testing cryptocurrencies and gave it all up? I think there's a lot more testing going on than we believe, right? And I think this has been happening from 2017 on, right? I mean, so after 5 to 6 years of testing and planning for the implementation of the use case of many of these cryptocurrencies, I think the news will eventually come out over the next 1 to 2 years. And so the next cryptocurrency I want to talk about here is Render. Now, Render is focusing on computing power and GPUs. Obviously, there's a lot of demand for GPUs, as NVIDIA has been doing extremely well over the last couple of months. We can see here that Render has been focusing on working with Apple. There's been a lot of rumors that Render is working with Apple, and then Apple did release this video just a couple of weeks ago on their keynote event. And so we can see right here in the keynote, they chose to use Render. We can see the Render icon right there. Now, the official announcement has not come out that they are utilizing this technology. However, the Render team has been saying that they have been working with Apple engineers for 5+ years. And so I definitely think this is something that Apple is holding behind the scenes. However, they are starting to show it on some of their iPads as they are introducing new M4 chips. And so Apple could be purchasing Render here. Also, in addition to that, we have XRP, right? XRP has been in a lawsuit for a very long time. However, they are focusing on the financial system. They want to improve payments and transfer of money around the world. And so I definitely think that XRP will do extremely well as they implement what they are developing. I think there will be news that is released. I think there's been a ton of work that has been happening behind the scenes. And so we can go ahead and see this, right? I mean, businesses impact powered by crypto and blockchain. And so we can see that crypto solutions for businesses, right? I mean, there's a lot of benefits to using cryptocurrencies. This provides transparency for financial institutions, enterprises, governments, and more, utilizing cross-border payments, crypto liquidity, and CBDCs. And so I think that this is definitely something to be paying attention to. I think that there's many different institutions that have been continuing to accumulate XRP as well. And so the last cryptocurrency I want to talk about here is Ondo. Now, Ondo is focusing on real-world assets. This is something that Larry Fink and BlackRock have been talking about for a very long time, the tokenization of assets. And that is exactly what Ondo is doing here. We can see that they have OUSG, which provides liquid exposure to short-term US Treasuries with 24/7 stablecoin mints and redemptions. And so we can see down here that the significant majority of the portfolio is currently in the BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund, which is the BUIDL, which launched a few months ago from BlackRock. Now, if we go over to that fund here, we can see the transactions that have been taking place, right? We have transactions between BlackRock and Ondo Finance, where they are tokenizing some of these funds for the treasuries. That doesn't mean that they're directly working with BlackRock. They may be just utilizing the fund for storage. However, I think this is something very bullish to see. I definitely think that institutions are buying altcoins, right? It's just trying to determine exactly what altcoins have utility and are going to provide value in the future and what altcoins they could be accumulating, right? We have proof that they are buying altcoins. This is definitely no secret. Obviously, Coinbase just shows here on their website that there has been $312 billion of quarterly traded volume. However, since I've dug into that more here and broke that down, we can see that 312 billion, 256 billion of that was institutional. Right now, of that 256 billion, 54% of that is altcoins. That's absolutely massive. We're talking $138 billion of volume in altcoins. Right? I mean, if you just look at the AI sector or narrative for altcoins, it is tiny in comparison to this. Maybe it's only $10 billion, and that's over maybe 30 different AI related cryptocurrencies, right? I mean, so as this continues to increase and more institutions are buying altcoins, and then once the news comes out, we're going to see massive returns on altcoins. I think this is where the majority of the money is going to be made. Obviously, very good returns on Bitcoin. However, for Bitcoin to provide a 50x return, it would need a substantial amount of money. Some of these altcoins are only a $100 million market cap, right? I mean, talk if they go to a $50 billion market cap. That is a substantial gain to be made on altcoins. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for future content. And as always, this is not financial advice, this is just my opinion. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.